Hey everyone, Jamie here from TechnicalCafe.com. Welcome to your first CSS tutorial. In the last tutorial series, we focused on HTML and how we can go about building websites and designing them, making them look different by adding text, links, stuff like that. But we never really focused too much on styling them and making them look precisely the way we want them to look. And HTML lacks some of the capabilities that CSS gives it, therefore not allowing you to design the site to be just the way you want it to be using pure HTML. That's why we use CSS. And CSS, like HTML, is another markup language. It just allows you to change the way things work, and there's no real programming like loops and stuff like that in it. And if you watched the tutorial series that we did on making the profile pages, you would have seen CSS in use there. We didn't really go too extensively into it, but we did focus a little bit on some things there. So actually, this web page that we're looking at right here was done using HTML and CSS. And we used two files. We used an external CSS file that we included into our page using the link tag in HTML, but we'll get into that later in a couple tutorials or so. So this first tutorial is just an introduction just to show you what CSS is, how you can use it, and stuff like that. So two things I want to note is that if you're going to be writing CSS, HTML, or anything like that, you should probably have a text editor that actually highlights code, like Notepad++. And if you can see here, the code is actually all highlighted in blue, and different attributes have different colors to them. So the same holds true for CSS. This is HTML here, and it's just a nice way to keep things neat and organized so you know what you're working with, and so you don't have to guess what's what. Without any highlighting here, if we were to copy this and paste it into a new file, everything looks the same. It's all black. And it's hard to kind of differentiate between what's HTML tags and what's the text that we're actually trying to put on the page. That's why when we have it highlighted, it looks a little bit different, and it just makes it easier to read things. And the same holds true for other languages too, if you want. Notepad++, what we're using here, is what I would recommend. It's what I use. And it features syntax highlighting for a bunch of different languages, and it even lists them by letter here. So we can have like C++, C, C#, CSS, HTML, Java, JavaScript. So it's just a good tool to have. Context is another one if you're interested in trying different ones out. But if you'd like to download Notepad++, all you need to do is go to notepad-plus-plus.org, and from there you can click on the download link right here, and then you can download it for Windows and other platforms as well. So that's how you go about installing that. And one other thing that I want to note is that before doing these tutorials, you should probably have at least a decent knowledge in HTML, because CSS is styling HTML, so you're going to actually have to have something on the page before you start styling it. So if you haven't seen our HTML tutorials on Technical Cafe, you might want to go check those out. There's a bunch of other ones too. W3 Schools and TiZag cover HTML, CSS, and a bunch of other languages if you're interested. But anyway, in this first tutorial is just an introduction, so we're not going to go over the code too extensively. But let's just take a look at what's done here. So here we actually have two divs. One over here is called header, and the other one is called main contents. And they each have their own border, which is we specified in our CSS code. So if we take a look at this first div called header, just close this first. So if we take a look at this div here, you'll notice that this is where it is. It's just div with an ID of header. And we centered the CSS tutorial text within the div, so it looks nice. And what we did with this div, actually, if you notice, we added some padding in here, and we actually added a border, a dotted black border of a 1 pixel width. So if we come over here to our styles.css, which we've included actually in the header of our web page, right there, you'll notice that on our header selector here, what we chose was a margin of 0 pixels auto, which actually centers this div right here, or centers the centers the div. A border of 1 pixel dotted black, and it just makes that look like that. And we added padding of 5 pixels. So on this div right here, there's 5 pixels of space between any side here. So 5 pixels from the top, from the left, from the bottom, and from the right. And we also added a specified height and width, so we can choose what we want. Right here we have 100 and 650 pixels, so it's 100 tall by 650 wide. And if we were to change that over here, say make it 350 pixels and save, you notice that it gets a lot smaller. So we have that kind of control with CSS that we otherwise wouldn't in HTML. So, though in some cases we do in HTML. So let's put that back to what we had of that previously, and you notice that it's equal here. So some other things that we did with the CSS page where we actually made this text right here bold, and that's not done in HTML, it's done using CSS. And if we come over here, this is actually the code for it. It's a paragraph, so every paragraph we put on the page is going to be bold, but I just did this for the purpose of showing you what the code looks like. So we added the font weight of bold to it. If we were to say font weight, or actually get rid of this and save, we come over here, it just goes back to a regular paragraph styling. So again, this is just some of the stuff that we can do using CSS. And actually, what we see right here is an unordered list rather, using bullet points. But we actually removed those bullet points and added padding to the list items, again using CSS, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And you can see this list right here, and this is the CSS code that we used to modify it right here. So basically, we just added 5 pixels of padding from the top. So this will have 5 pixels of padding up here, and above every one. So just to space them out a little bit and not have them all together. And we got rid of the style by using none. If we were to omit this here, what we'd have is we'd have those bullet points again. It's just not something that I thought looked really nice, so we just figured I'd change it around a little bit. But anyway, if you're interested in CSS, just keep watching these tutorials. Feel free to subscribe, comment, rate the video, whatever you want to do. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave a comment below or send me an email using the Technical Cafe contact page. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/jamiemcg, and there's a Technical Cafe Twitter, which is twitter.com/technicalcafe, if you're interested in any of those things there. So if you have any questions or suggestions for any future videos, feel free to send them in, and I'll look at them and see what we can do. And as always, thank you for watching.